next muscle that we're going to be going after and releasing is going to be the pectoralis minor. So you guys are probably familiar with these larger pectoral muscles that you have on the front. So that's our pectoralis major. Our pectoralis minor sits deep to the pec major, and it attaches to the front of the scapula, and it's going to run down this way, and it's going to attach onto the rib cage. Okay, so with this muscle and with some of the other muscles I'm going to go through afterwards, when we have that upper body dysfunction, so we have that arms fall forward, we have that scapular elevate position, what's happening there, the reason we can't quite get our arms up overhead is our scapulars can't rotate freely upwardly. Okay, so they get stuck downward in this kind of downward position, and then they kind of this kind of inside angle of our scapula kind of elevates slightly forward, so it gives that appearance of elevation, but really what's going on is we're kind of stuck in that downward position. So if I was to show you from the back, if I was to raise my arms up, I need my scapulars to rotate upwardly, okay, in order for me to get that full 180 degree straight arm overhead position. So it's very similar if you guys have ever used like a corkscrew, you push that head of the corkscrew down and those arms go up, and again you'll see like those jagged areas, which are the shoulders of the corkscrew, they'll rotate as you push it down and they bring those arms up. It's very similar to us, okay, so that kind of gets stuck downward. The other thing that happens as well is the scapulars start to tip forward, so we call that anterior tipping. They kind of come over this way a little bit, and that kind of gives us that rounded shoulder appearance. Okay, so that's another thing that happens. We need the short scapulars to be tipped backward and be able to rotate freely up, so we can bring those arms up. If they're kind of stuck downward in this position, we kind of get stuck here. Okay, we can't fully bring our arms up as well. Okay, so that's another thing that goes on, as well as like the lats being short, like I said before, the muscles that rotate our humerus, our arms inward. Okay, we need them out of the way, but we also need to optimize those scapular mechanics. So again, the pec minor is going to be a big driver of that downward rotation and that anterior tipping. So we definitely want to go after it. Now, word of caution, guys, when we do this, we are going to be quite close to the axilla, okay, so in the armpit. There are a ton of nerves that go through there, okay, so we have to be a little bit careful. So if there's anything when we're doing this technique, if there's any feelings of burning or pins and needles or paresthesia, any numbness, we want to get off of it, okay. So nerves are very, very small, they're very thin, they're only a couple of millimeters, okay, so you might just have to move slightly, maybe a centimeter or so, and that should go away. We should be off of it. Remember, we want to be compressing muscles, not nerves. So if you do feel anything, just move until those kind of sensations dissipate and go away. But to get into this muscle, what we're going to do, we can't use a foam roller so well because it kind of bridges over that area. We don't really, it's very hard to get into that muscle and get a release. So I'd recommend using either a tennis ball or one of these larger massage balls. They're going to work really well. And to get into it, what we do, if you bring your arm up, you're going to feel for that fold of the pec major. Just as you start to fold, just as you feel that fold and you start to sink your fingers into your armpit, that's where we're going to be going. So you're just going to tuck your fingers behind that pec major. That's where we're going to be going with the massage ball. So I'm going to show you guys from the front. We're going to lay on our front to do this one. And again, I'm going to bring my arm up because that's also going to put that pec minor on stretch. Again, it's going to help to pin down those tissues. So I'm going to bring that arm up and I'm going to put that ball right in that spot right there. So that's where we should be. Again, I'm going to search around. Once I've found that tender area, once I've got that spot, I'm just going to rest my head down and just relax. And again, wait 30 seconds to 2 minutes or until I get that release. Okay. Again, we'll show you guys from the side. So if I went from the side view, again, I'm going to raise that arm up. Again, just gonna tuck in right here. Okay. Right there. Bring that arm up. And again, just going to use rest my head on my arm. And again, I'm going to wait 30 seconds to 2 minutes. until I feel that release. I've got a point right there. Again, I'm just going to hold it until it goes away, so we'll get that feeling of release. Okay, and that's our pec minor